Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have a 3-year blended Scotch whiskey bottled in Chicago by Barton Imports, introduced in 1961, and it's called Inver House Green Head. And if you look at old advertisements, the label hasn't really changed in 15 years. This is a liter bottle. I bought it at Dorignax, and it was $11. $11 for 1 liter. You can get it cheaper than that because I'm looking right here at Total Wine, which is just about 2 miles west of there, and they've got it for $14.90, 1,750 milliliter bottle. So you get a liter plus an extra $7.50 for $14.99, $4 more. Well, so anyway, that's the same price the Highland this was selling for, $14.99. It says Scotland, medium to light gold in color, fragrant barley malt nose with sweet citrus aftertones. Light, smooth malt flavor with toffee and vanilla tones. Okay, we get the tones. Carefully selected for its distinct flavor profile, this drink is distilled for a smooth, bold taste. That's one of the sell sheets. They got some other descriptions on other websites. A blend of superbly light, 100% rare Scotch whiskeys distilled and blended in Scotland. All right. So if you want to get a good photo of the bottle label, look at Total Wine and More. They got a real good photograph. John Barr's the competitor. John Barr Reserve Blend. There's the finest red label, but I've not seen it. This is $23. So, and this is a $7.50. So much more expensive. And it's not expensive. $23 is not expensive for blended Scotch whiskey. But Inver House doesn't get much cheaper than that. It's not even sold in this parish. I can buy it in Jefferson Parish. So, JB. There's JB glass. There's the other Scotch. So let's get on with it. When was John Barr introduced? This I don't know. I've heard people say in the mid-1970s. Never could get a date. Whereas for Inver House, I got the date, the month, the day, the month, and the year. The actual day, I think it was November something, 1961, when it was first introduced. So sometimes you can get real specific. Sometimes you can't even find a year. Cream colored cap. Nice looking bottle. Daniel Newman was reviewing it, calling it Inver House. Well, it's not Ivor. That would be I-V-E-R. Ivor. It's I-N-V-E-R. Inver House. Poured a little too much of it. And Inver House is an actual, let me see if there's a weight differential. Inver House is an actual distillery. That's enough. Yeah. Perfect. A little bit too much, but it's hard to get these measured out just right. Hear the train coming. The train kept rolling all night long. It's still nighttime here, 5:39 a.m. Eastern Daylight, Central Daylight Time, stinking Daylight Savings Time, which is going to go away in November 1st, and I wish it would stay away, but no, they'll bring it back because the government likes to control you, control the time, control what you wear on your face. All to help you. Right. Don't use the word help. Use the word control. That's a better. Now, look at this spilling it. Control, baby. It's all about control. And it's funny because mostly it's just middle-aged people that'll be skeptical like me. The young people will be like, you don't believe in that? I'm like, I believe in it. I believe it's a scam. Okay. Then you got the elderly people walking around like the boy in the bubble, the boy in the plastic bubble. So afraid, so conditioned, And they got people dying of that. So yeah, not that many, but they got it inflated and you believe it. And Americans will believe all kinds of stuff. Heck, 70, 80 years ago, they had Americans thinking that Germany was going to invade the United States. We got to stop them. They're going to invade us. Now, they can't get 30 miles across the English Channel. Can't go 30 miles. Can't even go 30 miles across the English Channel, or 28 miles, whatever. But they're going to come 3,000 miles across the Atlantic with their inferior navy, which is about on par with Italy. But people believe it, Japan. I always hear these old people, like maybe they were born during World War II, because the ones that were alive during World War II, they're so old now you can't really talk to them. But I do know some, like the lady, 90 years old. But she was only like 10. She probably didn't pay attention to what was going on. Like I asked my grandma, who was 20, I said, what'd you think about World War II? I didn't pay any mind to it. I said, biggest war in history, a teenager in high school, or out of high school, the other one out of high school, not even paying attention to it. Something happening over there. But they had, you listen to these old men talking about, if those Japanese would have invaded, everybody had a gun. I was at a baseball game last year. I'm looking at them like, what would have happened? If those Japanese would have invaded, everybody had a gun. I said, well, Japan couldn't invade the United States. And then they get mad when you tell them that. You must hate America. I'm like, no, I'm just smart. And I think about things. And you could do that too. But it's hard to talk to people when they don't want to listen and they don't want to think. You got to be able to listen. You got to be able to think. Now, the scotch is not important. It's fun to do. But even that involves listening and thinking to a much less extent. All right. This one smells kind of bland. See, they don't put that on the sell sheet. Like, it's $11 a liter and it's bland. But don't complain because it's cheap. They should put that. But they put all of this other, these dynamic descriptions. Let me see if I can find Inver House. Inver House Distillers. Oh, about us. Here we go. Inver House Interbev Group. Ain't got nothing to do with InBev either. It's Interbev, International Beverage, whereas InBev is International Beverages. Okay, but it's not the same people. It ain't the same. See, it says founded in 1964, Inver House Distillers is the group's wholly owned Scotch whiskey subsidiary. You see, but I think the company is younger than the actual whiskey, Inver House. It's kind of a convoluted story, but the brand is older than and then talks about who owns them, Inver House Distillers Limited, Moffat Distillery, Rough Rig Road, Airdrie, Lancashire, ML6 8FU, Scotland, United Kingdom, 8FU ML6. Okay, Scotland, United Kingdom. Okay, so our brands. And so Inver House Distillers is the Scotch division of this big company. Single malt Scotch whiskeys. Let's look at the blends. Since we're doing blends, you dig? Catos, Hankey Bannister, and MacArthur's. Now, what do I know about these? Not a thing. But it's interesting to look at these websites and just imagine, you know, you could be trying it out one day. So Inver House is handled by Barton Imports, who are Sazerac. And they used to show it on their website, but they don't now because they reformatted the website. Well, smell. You know what that smells like? Cereal grain. And you're saying cereal grain? Really? Yeah, really. Like a box of cornflakes. Some of that. Or grits. Open a container of grits and don't, you know, it's got no salt added. You say, smell like corn bread, corn. This has a little peaty quality, little meaning minuscule, meaning a little compost from the garden. So initially, I think this is the John Barr, and I think that's the Inver House. Do I think Inver House is going to compete? Nah, not really. It's just going to be like cheaper. It is cheaper. You could get 2 bottles of Inver House for 1 bottle of John Barr, except that you would get actually 50 milliliters more than 2. You know what I'm saying? You would get double plus 50 milliliters. So because we're talking about a liter here. So the John Barr is going to have to really race ahead to win today, this morning. And I think it's 50-50. Like it might win, but then I might say, just go with the cheaper one. If you can tolerate the cereal grain, you're going to probably mix it anyway. I don't know. I don't mix drinks, so everything is neat to me. Neat. That's all I drink it. Neat. Well, I don't drink whiskey. I just taste it during taste challenges, which I do every day. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I don't drink whiskey as something to do aside from videos. And that's the truth. Because people have asked me, like, what do you like to drink? Like, I said, I don't drink any. What do you like to mix it with? I said, I don't mix it. Okay. Well, there's a little smokiness here. A little, not a lot, a little bit. Sweet grain, corn. Yeah. A little bread dough from the single malt. Do I think the John Barr is probably 80-20? Yeah. It's probably 80% grain spirits, probably 20% single malts. Is it the best? Why would it be the best? It's $23 a bottle. It's probably okay. Have I ever had the Whyte and MacKay blended scotch? That's their flagship brand. No, I haven't even seen it in a store. But the website goes all into the description of it. Tab says, sounds good. It's pretty good. Thanks for watching. All right. Man, wow. This tastes like a typical Sazerac cheap blended scotch. And they got a lot of them. And they always like the same. Inver House, Pipadine, Highland Mist. Just keep going because it tastes like corn, cereal grain, and they got a little harshness to them. And there's really no smoke, and there's really no peat, and there's really no nothing. It's just kind of characterless. I'm not saying they taste terrible, or it's like, oh, it's so bad. It's so terrible. I can't get over it. I'm going to dump it out. It's nothing like that. Like you read these written reviews, and it's so comical because they're so dramatic, and they go overboard. It's just bland and it's dull, and you know it's why you think it's $11 a liter, because it's bland and it's dull. Can you have exceptions to that? Yes, and that's coming up, but it's not from Sazerac. All right, it's from a competitor in the same town, Bardstown. Well, that's one of their locations, but their actual headquarters is in Bardstown. The competitor, Sazerac's headquarters in New Orleans, but none of their really only a few of their distilling operations are in Louisiana. Really, only one. People say things are terrible when they're not. Right. Okay, so mild smoke, a little bread dough, a little touch of peat compost. It's okay. John Barr is okay. It's better than Chivas Regal, and it's $12 cheaper. Would I ever buy Chivas Regal 12-year over John Barr? No way. I don't care if it's aged 12 years. I don't care if it's aged 112 years. It's not that good. It's bland. It's boring. And if you want to be technical, or like Larry Holmes said in 1985 after he lost to Michael Spinks, if you want to get techno, I'd rather just drink Inver House over Chivas Regal because they both kind of like equally bland. And the Chivas Regal people say, we're going to track you down. We're coming after you. What do you want me to do, lie? Now I'm going to try other Chivas products. The Mitsunara is next, aged in Japanese oak. I would like to try the 18-year age and all of these fancy pants ones. But the flagship one, the 12-year age, I don't see anything. There's just nothing to it. And then I could pay the same amount of money, and buy James Buchanan Deluxe. James Buchanan, it destroys Chivas Regal. It's like it seems like it's 1,000 times better. It has so much character. Yeah, terrible is undrinkable. How many scotch have I bought that were undrinkable? You know how many? None. How many liquors have I bought that were undrinkable? None. Nothing. Now I bought one that's close. But I think something's wrong with it, like it went rancid or something. The Ron Rio rum. There's no way it could smell like that on purpose or taste like that on purpose. There's no way. But it didn't make me sick. I've been drinking it in these taste challenges. I never did get ill or a headache or anything. So I guess you can drink rancid sugarcane products and not get sick. I don't know. But that's the closest one. Now that one is. I think most viewers would never drink it. If they smelled it, they'd be like, ain't no way I'm drinking it. I couldn't blame them. I'd actually support that. The John Barr is nice. Nice, mellow smokiness. Nice dough. A little peatiness. The grain alcohol doesn't shine through so much. Like the 80% is just the backbone. It doesn't really evidence itself in an off-putting flavor or anything, like a burning harshness. So it's very nice. I would recommend John Barr Reserve Blend. I think it goes toe-to-toe with any other $23 scotch. It's better than Dewar's, which to me is none but screaming cereal grain. It's way better than Grant's. Of course, Grant's is cheaper, but not by much. That Grant's, that's a mess. That is a mess. But that's another story. But it's coming up. It's coming up. The taste challenge is coming with Grant's. I'd rather watch Lou Grant than drink Grant's. Hello, Lou. Hello, Murr. Anyway, Inver House. It's kind of settling down. Like when you first sip it, it screams grain alcohol. It's just like, yeah, rubbing alcohol. But then it calms down. Do some people buy it? Obviously, some people buy it. Total Wine ain't gonna stock it if it doesn't sell. Dornak's been selling it for years. Big handle bottle, big plastic thing. Garish looking bottle, and the stately nice liter bottle. And then it's funny because the plastic handle bottle is green and the liter is clear. So one is clear and one is green. Isn't that weird? And there's green glass, of course. And look at Clan McGregor. It's in a green glass bottle. Of all sizes. There's a little honey note here, little nectar from a flower. Well, it seemed like it calms down a little more than the Highland Mist. Highland Mist was too like hyperactive, too agitated, too attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. You know what I'm saying? It was just jumping around like, hey y'all, let's do this, let's play this, let's play that, let's play this, let's play this video game, let's play that video. It's like, man, calm down. What do you need? Medicine or something? You're running all around the room. You're loud. You're in my face. You're grainy. You're harsh. You're bitey. Your noise is ear splitting and offensive. So that's the way that one was. This one is, it's doing okay. Huh? I even caught a little touch. And I mean, when we say touch, we just mean a ghost, a whiff. Ding, like a pin drop in a church where everybody's quiet. Ding, of peat. But if you're looking for peatiness, I mean, forget it, you know. But it is there to a very, 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 very minimal extent. So to end this little extravaganza, you could tell that John Barr's using a little Isla whiskey, maybe more than a little, to give it that smoky thing. And I like that. I like it like that. Beer Hound's beer review says, "Hi, Ron. Hi to you, Beer Hound. You ain't nothing but a beer hound." All right. Drinking all the time. Making videos all the time. So this is the John Barr. Better say JB. If it doesn't, I'm going to feel terrible, but I know it's going to say JB. And it does, even though it was turned around upside down. John Barr, a true winner. I'm so glad I bought it. And I got it cheap because I paid $15.65. Everybody else got to pay $23. $15.65. It's a big winner. So I got such a great discount. Does the prices match here? Yeah, I guess so. Is it worth paying $23 over $11? I suppose. But remember, for $23, you can get, we told me before tax, you can get 2 bottles of Inver House plus 50 milliliters. So we're talking about 2 bottles plus 50 milliliters of what you would get with John Barr. You say, well, I'm into volume. I want volume. I want 2 milliliters. I want 2 liters instead of not even 1 liter for $23. I want 2 liters instead of not even 1 liter. Okay, then buy the Inver House. Drinking Founders Bourbon Stout. Whoa. Off work drinking, trying to crash, says Beer Hound. I understand that. But Inver House is not bad. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, it's so bad. It's not so bad. It's just so not great. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of Scotch whiskeys like that. They're just run of the mill. But honestly, there's no off flavors, no off aromas. Doesn't taste like paint or lead. But that could be said for bourbon. That could be said for American blended whiskey. That could be said for Canadian blended whiskey. That could be said for blended Scotch whiskey. That could be said for Irish blended whiskey. Not that I've had any bad ones. Or I don't know about Japanese, because I've never had any Japanese whiskeys that were like cheap. Beer Hound says, they're talking to each other. Okay, so that's it. I got it right again. I have gotten it wrong a few times, but not too many times. So my record with the John Barr has been pretty good, down to about 66% of the bottle. So I've gotten through 1/3 of it. What's the next competitor? It's a good question. I can't remember. Let's see. I know it's another Sazerac, right? Oh, yeah. Sir Malcolm. Well, now, Sir Malcolm is a cheap Sazerac brand that is sold around here. It is sold around here, about $9.99 a bottle or less. And you can get it cheaper with the handle bottle. But Sir Malcolm has some more dough flavors. It doesn't scream grain alcohol so bad. I mean, it does, but I say so bad. You get a little doughiness. Okay, but you know, John Barr's gonna still beat it. Anyway, thanks for watching this video production. On to watch the news, and John Barr's the winner. So we got the Sir Malcolm on Monday, which I might do today because I'm not gonna feel like it on Monday. Tomorrow, and then we're gonna bring in some Heaven Hill handled products, some Heaven Hill handles. That's gonna be a very interesting taste challenge, quite interesting, even kind of scary in a way. Thanks, Ron says Tab. Thanks for watching. Later, Beer Hound. Y'all take care. Now I'm off. I'm out.